everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that's going to help you become your best self. And today we are talking about what to do when you make a mistake, because we've all been there, and sometimes it can be super helpful to have a little bit of extra help in that department. But before we get into that, I do want to encourage you to come say hi to me on my Instagram. I am at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. I would love to hear from you, would love to chat from you. If you have any feedback, comments, questions, prayer requests, whatever, or if you just want to say hey, hi, and hello to me, I'd love to hear from you. You can also send me an email to realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. Either way, again, let's be friends online. But let's go ahead and jump into our topic again. Today, we are talking about what to do when you make a mistake. So I make mistakes all the time. And we make mistakes all the time. It's just a fact. And we don't need to be afraid of this fact because it's something that is expected of us. And I want you to know that. I want you to know that. I want you to believe that. I want you to bring it deeply into your soul and your mind and understand that we as humans, as imperfect humans, are expected to make mistakes. And if you have people in your life, wow, it's like a minute in and I'm already going off on a little side tangent, but if you have people in your life that have thrown their overdone expectations on you because they need you to be perfect for them, they need you to not make mistakes for them because it would make it easier for them to accept you, to love you, to care for you, whatever, or it would make it less embarrassing for them, or they just can't seem to see you make a mistake because it would feel like it would reflect badly on them. I want you to reevaluate those relationships and have a conversation with them because that's super unfair. Anyone that thrusts unknown expectations on you, it's out of bounds. It's really not appropriate because number one, you don't know that they exist, right? And number two, if you do know that they exist, it's still not fair because someone else putting those expectations on you and you not agreeing to them. Again, it's like, okay, there's no agreement here. And then there's always that third part, the third realm that I have lived in for a long time. I want you to know where someone put expectations on you. You were like, sure, I will be the most perfect person in the world. But you're really thinking deep down, like really deep in a secret dark cavern in your heart and your mind, man, I cannot live up to these expectations. You will tell everyone, and even in like the most part of your mind, that you can hit these expectations. No problem, no issues. It's okay. You'll do the extra work. You spend the extra time. You'll spend the extra money. You will not do anything you actually enjoy to hit these expectations. When really you really know, even though you never plan on telling anyone that you can't and that you don't want to, and you shouldn't. And I want you to start, even if it's slowly, to convince yourself that that small voice is telling you the truth, and it needs to become louder and louder and louder, so loud that it comes out of your mouth and you accept it as truth, and the people around you accept it as truth. And they understand that you don't want to do that anymore, right? It took me a long time to realize, okay, I'm not perfect. I don't think I can do this. I don't think that I can really, rise up to these expectations that other people are putting on me. And yeah, you'll let some people down. And yeah, some relationships will be severed a little bit. That's natural. But it'll all be better for you in the long term. And I think that tangent was necessary. So anyway, expectations are so bad. And we are all expected, to make mistakes. It's okay. It's totally fine. It's really normal for every single person, human, even pets. It's all normal, okay? So we are expected to make mistakes in this life because it's how we learn to do things and do things better, right? So you'll do something, you'll make a mistake at it because you've never done it before. Maybe you won't. I'm not saying you'll make a mistake every single time, but you'll make a mistake and you're like, okay, great. I'm going to learn from this. Or you make mistakes on something that you are familiar with and you get better at it because you've learned the pitfalls, you've learned the ups and downs more and more, and you get better and better. And that's totally fine. But we spend so much of our time trying to avoid making mistakes that we don't get the chance to better ourselves and strengthen ourselves with the little ups and downs that come from navigating failures and mistakes. And I'm not saying that it's like a carnival ride or some sort of ride at a theme park that you're missing out on, that you really need to make time for. But I think it's important for you to understand that you don't have to continue this crazy maze of trying to avoid every single bad thing that could ever come in contact with you, because those things will make you stronger and those things will make you better. And those things will provide you with more wisdom, more knowledge, and more ability to get through even harder things that are going to come at you because you were able to navigate these things. Think about life as giving you things and it's slowly building up. And yes, there's many of us, me included, where we start with really big things. And then we kind of simmer down to small things, and then we continue to grow up a hill of challenges, right? But regardless of what way it's given to you, it's all important. So continuing to try to divert away from every single possible problem and failure and mistake is not helpful, and it becomes exhausting, right? And how are you supposed to learn things? How are you supposed to really test yourself? I think those are important. And I know you were talking about mistakes and how they're great, how they're super helpful. And I know no one is going to be really excited that a mistake has come along in their lives because they finally get a chance to learn from it. You're like, wow, Sabrina, I finally get this chance to confront this failure and mistake in my life. Woohoo. That is no one's mood. That's really not. But it can practice. But if you can practice being more self-aware, just self-aware enough. And I know we talk about that a lot, and I'm going to do a very specific episode on it because I think it would be uber helpful. But if we can become just self-aware enough to realize that when failure or mistakes happen, it isn't the end of the world. And believe me, I used to be there. I used to be that person where it's oh my gosh, everything's crashing down. Everything is terrible. And it's not. It's really not. It feels like it in the moment, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. And I know that your bad moments can be someone's easy moments and vice versa. It's totally fine. We should not be comparing our hard times to other people's hard times because it's not fair. We've all going through different seasons of life. It doesn't matter. You don't need to compare. But it isn't the end of the world. What it is it's an opportunity to become better and see how you can apply lessons in the past, all that other stuff that you've been through, to this current situation or possibly one or the other or both, learn something new that can assist you in the future, that can help you get through that next hard thing, that next mistake, that next failure, that next boulder that you have to climb over at some point in your life, because life isn't stagnant. Sometimes it feels like it is, but there are things rumbling under the ground and you never know what's going to come up. And I'm not saying that to induce any sort of fear at all whatsoever. Life is just unpredictable a lot of the time. And that's what can make it exciting. But it's so important that we just, you're not going to be open arms about it. I want to say just welcome it with open arms. I don't want to either. But we need to continue to have faith. That will be fine. God will protect us. And we'll be able to get through these things. If we focus on what can we do in those moments and not shut down completely and just kind of be aware of okay, what can we do here? How can we apply what we've learned in the past to the situation to move forward? So this is why I wanted to chat about what to do when you end up making a mistake or have to deal with a failure, because that's kind of the same thing. And these tips should help you bounce back quicker and help you become more resilient along the way, because a lot of times, again, we're continuously running from mistakes, the possibility of mistakes and failures. And I want you to know that it's okay. And by feeling like it's okay, I believe that if you had a set of tips of how to get through that process of making a mistake or going through a failure, you would feel better. So I have 6 steps. I do suggest that you do them in order. However, if for whatever reason that you cannot do them in this order, that's totally fine. It's not going to break it. It's not going to break or make the whole thing. It's just helpful if you do. Either way. So let's just jump right into them. The first one, when you make a mistake or have a failure or whatever it is, own your mistake. Okay? Own your mistake. Take responsibility. Allow yourself to feel your feelings about it. So whatever it is, let's say that you, I don't know, made a really big mistake at work. You sent out an email that you shouldn't have. Maybe it said something you shouldn't have. Maybe your presentation in front of a really important client did not go well. It did not go well, and they let you know. They let you know, It's amazing how quickly people are to let you know how bad you are, like in comparison to people letting you know how good you're doing, right? It just sucks. Doesn't add up. It's not the same. But so you're going through this hard thing. You know you've made a mistake. You're like, oh crap, I've made a mistake. Allow yourself to feel whatever feelings that you're feeling. You're feeling down, you're feeling sad, you're feeling disappointed. You're like, dang, that really sucks. It's okay to feel those feelings because those are the feelings that you're feeling in that moment. It's just the key here is always not to allow yourself to fall into that pit of despair that I talk about all the time. Because if you fall into the pit, it's much harder to get out. You want to be able to assess the situation. Like, okay, these are my feelings. I'm feeling this. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel mad at yourself for that moment. But you don't want to continue to drag on those feelings for an unnecessary length of time, because that's not going to really help the situation. You do want to be aware of okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is probably why I'm feeling this way. Oh wow, am I really cutting myself down right now? Maybe I shouldn't do that. Yes, this was my problem. This is something that I did. Again, take responsibility, own your mistake. I did this. Crap. Shouldn't have sent that email. Should have had someone proofread it. Should have asked someone. Should have had someone to review my presentation. Whatever. Should have maybe stopped in the middle when I realized something was off, but it kept going. So whatever it is, take responsibility. Say that, yes, this is something I did. Don't blame anyone else. Don't try to project your feelings or anything like that onto anyone else. And feel your feelings of disappointment so that you're able to understand, okay, this is mine. I'm going to own it, which leads you right into number 2, which is try to fix what you can and ask for help if needed. So first, you're going to own your mistake. You're going to take that responsibility and feel your feelings, because your feelings are good, okay? Even if your feelings are really upset at yourself, you're like, but these are my feelings right now. But we felt them. We understand them. They're there. We honored them. Moving on. We got to fix this thing, okay? So whatever you need to do to fix it. So if you need to do it again, go work on it more, talk to some people, whatever you need to do. Fix what you need to fix. If maybe you broke something. There was a time when I was in high school, I drove. It's embarrassing. I drove into our garage because our driveway was on a slope, and there was a hump in the middle of the driveway that you had to kind of just get your front tires right over, and then it would be fine, and it would be less of a risk of you sliding down the hill, especially since I grew up in Alaska. So, winter ice, those things, right? Even with your emergency brake on. But I was a new driver, and I revved the engine a little too much and hit the garage door. So in that case, that was a mistake, right? That was a failure. That was a mistake. And so try to fix it. I would need to go out. I would need to talk to the adults in my house and figure out what I need to do. What needs to be done? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to contribute from my job to pay for this door to be fixed? Luckily, I didn't. I really got off really easily, thankfully. And then ask for help. If you don't know how to fix the problem or the mistake that you made, ask for help. Be like, okay, for me, that garage door, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, okay, I have to ask for help immediately because I hit it. So I would say I backed out of it to the proper place. I think I actually backed down to the street because I was just like, I don't want to deal with this. And went and told the adults. And I was like, okay, guys, this is what happened. Ugh, I really suck. And it's okay if you need to ask for help. Asking for help is not a weakness. It is actually a strength because you are realizing that you cannot deal with whatever it is on your own. You need to find someone else that can help you. And you get to solve the problem quicker than by waiting around and trying to figure it out on your own because you have an ego problem. You feel like you need to do it on your own. And Asking for help is not a bad thing. It's a hard thing. I have trouble with it still, but it's a good thing. So this leads me into number 3. So first you're going to own your mistake, then you're going to try to fix it and ask for help if you need to. Number 3 is apologize to anyone affected by the mistake. Don't hide what happened. I will tell you, with the garage door, we're like, how is the story continuing? Sabrina, you hit the garage door. That was it. Yeah. But within like 30 to 60 seconds of hitting the door, I think they were home at the time too. I thought about driving away. Right? And it sounds really stupid to think about it. It sounds really dumb to be like, but they would have known it's you, Sabrina, like clearly, right? Because someone's not going to just like drive into your sloped driveway, hit your garage door, and then drive away. It's not going to be some random person. Obviously, it's going to be me. Obviously, they're going to know it's me, even if I drove away, and that would have made the situation worse. But what I'm telling you is you don't want to hide that what happened to the people that do need an apology. Of course, I had to apologize to the adults. I had to be like, hey guys, I'm so sorry that I hit your garage, that I hit the garage door. Like, what can I do? And then I didn't hide. I didn't run away. I didn't drive away and just try to pawn it off on someone else. So apologize if there is someone that needs to be apologized to. Not all times will there be someone. Maybe you need to actually apologize to yourself because you're really coming down on yourself really hard. But sometimes there might not be anyone. But you do need to realize that you don't want to hide what happened. So if you do need to tell someone needs to be made aware, let them know. You might feel a little bit of shame, which you should move past because we all make mistakes, right? So apologize to anyone affected. If you did offend someone, if you hurt someone's feelings, if it really jeopardized someone else's thing, make a genuine apology. They may or may not accept your apology. You have to be ready for that, unfortunately, because people get to choose, right? But it's the right thing to do. It's the proper thing to do. And make sure that you actually mean it, okay? So number 4, after owning your mistake and fixing it and asking for help and apologizing and not hiding it, you are going to figure out what went wrong and what could be done better next time. Now, you might be thinking, oh, this will never happen again next time, or I'll never be in this situation again. I want to encourage you to think about this anyway. This really just applies for you to put your critical thinking skills to the test of so for me, with the garage door, what would I have done? What would I have done differently? And I did continue to park in that spot as time went on. And what I did differently in the future was to slowly, no matter how big of a hurry I was in, because there were many times in high school where I was driving home and I was in a hurry to get home because I lived across town to get whatever I needed if I forgot it at home to be on my way to a date or to maybe I was going to a game because I was a cheerleader, or maybe I had to go to a band conference, or I had to get ready for whatever after school activity I did, because I did 75% of the ones that were offered at my school. And so next time I will go slowly up the driveway, so slow, and then be on my brake. Be on it, be ready to brake, because I don't want to hit the garage door again, right? Or just park on the street. If I really just wasn't feeling it, just park on the street. You know what I mean? So figure out what went wrong and what you could have done better. And again, even if you feel like you'll never be in that situation again, it's good. You're just practicing your critical thinking skills. You're like, okay, well, next time I can do this, that, and the other. And then sometimes by taking the time to do that, if you know someone else that happens to get into that situation, you can give them your knowledge and wisdom. Isn't that nice? And wouldn't you have liked that if you were in that same situation and someone found out that you were, and they're like, oh my gosh, well, this is what I did, if that helps you, right? You can do the same. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just encouraging you to do so. So figure out what went wrong, what could have done, what could you do better next time? Super simple, won't take that long. Think it through, figure it out, tuck it away, you're good to go. Number 5. So after you've owned your mistakes, you've tried to fix it, you've asked for help, you've apologized, you've not hidden it, and you've figured out what you did and what could be done better next time, you are going to forgive yourself and you're going to practice self-compassion. So what I was talking about before is like maybe there's no one to apologize to but yourself, but maybe not. So maybe you don't necessarily need to apologize to yourself, but maybe you need to forgive yourself for making this mistake. Maybe you're like, I can't believe you made that mistake, Sabrina. I can't believe you're such an idiot for hitting the garage door. You shouldn't even be driving. Like, why? They should have been a lot harder on you. You're offering your guardians like, okay, I can be punished in all of these 10 ways. Like, whoa, slow your roll. Don't let the whole whip just get taken away, okay? Right? Like, you just need to forgive yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. That's the number one reason why you should forgive yourself. Because everyone makes mistakes. Everyone deserves to fall a little bit to learn and to be able to strengthen themselves and then move along in life, right? So forgive yourself, practice self-compassion. It's so helpful because it falls right into the last one, number 6 that I'm talking about. So you want to own your mistake, take responsibility, try to fix it, ask for help, apologize, don't hide it, figure out what went wrong, what could be done better, forgive yourself, and then move forward. I feel like a lot of people don't practice this step. I don't practice this step a lot. I need to. I am preaching to myself right now. Listen, we need to realize that dwelling won't fix the past. It won't. I think it does, but it doesn't. I know that it doesn't. I know. Sometimes even today, I was driving around and yesterday, some girl, I was turning the corner in like a grocery store parking lot. And I was going a little fast, but I did see the person about to cross the street, like in the, like in one of those plazas where it's like so many little shops and everything. And I did turn the corner and then I stopped. But then this girl, and even bringing it up, I'm bringing it up just for the example's sake, but I kind of wish I didn't. She was walking with her friend and she just puts her hand out and she has the most attitude on her face. Like, oh my gosh, if you don't stop. And she just kept walking across in front of me with her hand out as if that was going to stop the velocity of my car hitting her if I didn't stop, right? Now, I was not even close to hitting her. I was not even close. But it bothered me so much that I started dwelling on it again today, when realizing and then rethinking in my head, like, why couldn't I have just rolled down my window and said something? Nope, that would have gone wrong. Why couldn't I have honked my horn? Nope, that would have been rude. And it's like I'm dwelling on the past, right? Thinking like all the different ways it could have gone, when I really just need to move forward and let it go, because dwelling on the past won't fix it. It really won't. It won't change what happened. And you should only give yourself a little bit of time to really rethink like what you could have done better. And if there's really nothing that could have been done better or different, then move forward, move on, leave it in the past. Because you're going to glean all the information that you need from like how to deal with this kind of situation or mistake better in the future if it ever happens again. But that's it. You don't want to continue to replay the situation in your mind. You're only asking for trouble. I promise you. Things like this haunt my brain, and I have to literally say out loud to myself, even driving in the car, let it go, Sabrina. We're not thinking about this anymore. And if that's what you need to do, then don't feel ashamed about doing that, because I have to do that all the time. Let it go. So move forward. Move forward from the mistake. It happened. Okay. Maybe other people are dwelling on it, holding it above you, making you feel bad about it. That's really tough and it sucks. But you have to be able to still move forward. You have to be able to ask them, hey, can you just stop talking about this? And if they say no, be like, okay, well, I'm over this. I'm moving forward. And then just don't even respond to them if they continue to bring it up. Because you know what bullies do? If you continue to feed into the reaction that they want from you, they will continue to do it. But if you don't, they'll get bored and they need to find a different target. That's generally how it works. So move forward. Let it go. Know that dwelling won't fix the past. So let's do a quick run through real quick. So number 1, own your mistake. Take that responsibility, but also feel your feelings. Honor your feelings in the moment. Try to fix what you can and ask for help if you need to. Apologize to anyone affected, but don't hide what happened. Figure out what went wrong and what could have been done better, regardless of whether you'll be in that situation again in the future. Forgive yourself. Practice that self compassion and then move forward and don't dwell on the past because it doesn't fix anything. So, hopefully, these steps have been helpful. Please let me know if these steps have been helpful to you, or if you have any steps of your own that are super helpful in recovering from a mistake or a failure. I would be so happy to hear that. Again, hit me up on my Instagram at Sabrina Joy Perozo, or an email, realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. All of that information is in the show notes below. But thank you guys so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl Podcast. Again, with me, Sabrina. I hope this episode has been super helpful for you, talking about what to do when we make a mistake. Again, I would love to be online friends with you, so come and say hi to me. I look forward to that. But until then, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.